This lesson is for skill BOA 202. We're going to solve problems in 1 or 2 steps using whole numbers. Okay, let's begin with this first example. The first example here says find the product of 6 and 8, then find the sum of 8 and the product. So the first thing I want to do is find the product here. So recall that product means to multiply. So I'm going to multiply 6 times 8, and I end up with the number 48. The second part of my sentence here says, then find the sum of 8 and the product. So I first need to figure out what the word sum means. Recall that sum means to add. So now I take 8 and my original number, 48, and I add them together. So 48 is the product that I had from the first part, right? I'm finding the sum of 8 and the product. Add these together and I get 56. Now in problem number 2, we're asked to find the quotient of 15 and 5, then subtract 7 from the quotient. So let's take 15 divided by 5 because quotient means division. So 15 divided by 5 gives me 3. The second part of my question here says to subtract 7 from the quotient. 3 is my quotient. So I want to take away from 3 the number 7. So the order here is really important. We want to start with 3 and then subtract from that 7 because that would read as the quotient minus 7. We end up with the number -4. Okay, I'd like you to go ahead here and pause the video and try number 3 on your own. So go ahead, pause, and then we'll come back and do this problem together. Okay, the third example asks us to first find the product of 12 and 3, and then to find the quotient between the product and 4. So product means to multiply. So we're going to multiply 12 and 3 to find the product. The product is 36. The second part of this question says to find the quotient between that product and the number 4. So here it's asking me to divide. I want to find what the answer is when I take the product, that 36, and I divide it by 4. So 36 divided by 4 gives me 9. Okay, now you're also going to see these kind of problems, so 1 or 2 step problems with whole numbers, in word problems. So let's read this real quick. It says, Miss Davis has 21 students in her class. She has a total of 63 candy canes, I'm going to underline this, that she distributes evenly to the students in her class. She then allows each of them to eat 1 candy cane. How many candy canes does each student have left after eating 1? Okay, let's write down the important information here. She has 63 candy canes, and she expects to distribute these evenly to her students. So first, let's talk about what that would mean here. To distribute evenly means to divide it amongst her students. So we know that this is going to be a division problem. We want to take 63, and we would want to divide it among the number of students that she has in her class. So let's go back to our example, and we have 21 students in her class. So I'm going to take 63, the total number of candy canes, and divide it by 21 because she has 21 students. That leaves me with the number 3. Now the second part of this question says she then allows each of them to eat 1 candy cane. So we want to take away now one of those candy canes to figure out. The question here reads, how many candy canes does each student have left after they've already eaten? So we're going to take that 3 and subtract away 1, leaving me with 2. So each student has 2 candy canes. So this is BOA Skill 202, and it's working with problems in 1 or 2 steps using whole numbers. So in each problem here we did 2 mathematical operations in order to get our final answer.